Hello and welcome. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Terry.
And we are
Party of Two Cruising.
Again, thanks for watching. Today we're going to give you a good, honest review of the Carnival Mardi Gras that we were on from March 5th to March 12th.
But I will fill you in on a little secret. We loved it, and we can't wait to go again in June.
Well, she just gave the whole show away. Thanks for watching.
There's lots
just
more.
Kidding. We're going to give you a good, honest review. And again, remember, these are our opinions. They are the opinion of nobody else but just us. You may not agree with us, but these are, again, our opinions. We'll be right back. All right, well, we want to start with, basically, where you start. On embarkation day. We basically arrived at the port, which is Terminal 3, which was built for the Mardi Gras. And what's nice about that garage is, if it's raining, you don't get wet. You stay pretty much undercover the entire time. We took the elevator up to the 3rd level, and then we met with the staff that checked us in.
The staff was really exciting and enthusiastic, and you felt like a party atmosphere as soon as you're checking in. Then we moved on to the terminal, which I love the terminal when we first got there. It's really beautiful, and it's not like any terminal we've been in. It had lots of palm trees and chairs. It looked really tropical.
Right. The only negative I had about checking in was we used the Verifly app, and again, even though your negative COVID test was on the app, they still wanted to see our negative COVID test. Now, as she said, we went into the terminal, and it looks beautiful. It's a nice terminal, but the sound is very, very loud. When we first came into the terminal, and you'll see right here in the video, I'm going to give you a second just to listen to it.
You can't understand them.
Right, you can't understand them, and then when we started to board, it even got worse because now the terminal was full, as you can see here and listen.
Yes. I think we met the last time I was on board. Yeah. I got on the way to it.
And as you heard in that video, they were making announcements and you really couldn't hear them. So you were just kind of like going off of what everybody else did when they were calling your A numbers or your B numbers or whatever to get on the ship.
And it did seem like everybody all of a sudden just wanted to stand up and kind of go up there real fast instead of wait till they're called, and then you couldn't really hear what was going on. So getting onto the ship on those moments were a little bit hectic.
Right, and they were very strict about it. If it wasn't your boarding time, they were not letting you on, even if you were with somebody that had an early boarding time. They were making them wait.
But the staff was great. As we were walking to get on the ship, it was really cool. As we were walking, there was a couple people that noticed us and said hi to us as Party of Two Cruising, so that made us feel really great and special. And then just as you're entering and taking your first couple steps on the ship, all the staff is standing there with big signs that say welcome and party and Mardi Gras atmosphere with hats on. It was really cool. You felt like you were a celebrity or something. I loved it.
Yeah, once you get on this ship, if you've only done the smaller ships like the Elation and stuff, you're going to be overwhelmed when you get onto the ship. It's very big, it's very large, and it's just overwhelming when you walk into the Grand Central area right there in the middle of the ship. So let's move on and start talking about the ship. Remember, this ship is 1,130 feet long, and I've said it a couple of times in our other videos, if you don't like to walk around a lot, this is not the ship for you. But it is an absolutely beautiful ship.
I loved it. When we got on, we didn't know where to go, what to do. We were like, oh, we want to see everything. We want to see everything fast. So we found a bar to do our drinks really quick. We did get to go to our room really fast, and then we were ready to get something to eat.
Because you snuck down to the room.
Shh, don't tell our secrets.
I mean, up to the room, sorry. Anyway, you can see that in the first video we put up, the embarkation day. You can do that a little bit. You can generally go down to your room or up to your room, whichever way you got to go. and throw your stuff in the room, because a lot of times your rooms are done by 12 o'clock or so.
Okay, so we're kind of settled in and we decide we're hungry, so we go find a place to meet our group at. And that's one thing we liked about the ship, was we liked all the food choices that you have. I picked Shaq's Big Chicken, and it was delicious. I had it a couple times on the ship for lunch, and they have a great breakfast. And what'd you get, Lovey?
I got the jambalaya from the buffet.
So there are a lot of choices on here. Again, that's one of the things we liked, right, Pat?
Yep, that's what we liked. Was a lot of the choices you had. Now, let's talk about the way the ship is spread out. A lot of people said that they do not like the ship because it was too chopped up and too spread out. I'm pretty sure that was by design. For example, your comedy club is actually in the front of the ship now, and your main theater's in the front, but some of your venues are in the midship and some of them are in the back of the ship, which really I thought kept everybody separated.
Yeah.
Pretty much. We never waited in line, I don't think, for anything other than maybe a little bit of the bars, just because they were so overwhelmed with people lining up because everybody wanted a drink. Alright, one of the things I did like about this ship, and I've never seen it on any other Carnival ship, is guest services. Guest services is in the aft on deck 8, just before you get to the Pig and Anchor, which is on the very aft of the ship.
And that was really a smart move, because when it used to be in the lobbies of the ship, when you went down there to do business or talk to them, it was so loud you were screaming because you couldn't hear, because there's always a lot of stuff going on down there in the lobby. So this was a good move by Carnival.
I agree with that 100%. And it was actually so quiet back there you could hear. Alright, another thing that you're going to love about the Mardi Gras is the Mardi Gras Theater. This is the main theater in the front of the ship that has absolutely no sight alignment problems whatsoever. How they made this venue with no poles getting in your way, I'll never know. The seats are like theater seats.
Very
They're
nice.
very comfortable. And because we sat there for multiple shows in a row and never got up. And
Yes.
they're just like sitting in a movie theater. Great job there. The only negative that you'll have is there's no place to put your drink. There are no tables in front of the seats or anything. So if you order a drink in there, you're going to have to hold it.
And the steps was kind of made you think that, we saw a lot of people fall on the steps in there because they had a lighting that made you think that was the end of the step and it went out a little bit longer. So be real careful walking up and down those steps, but you will love this part of the ship.
Right. If the theater's lit up, you're going to be okay. But if it's already dark in there when you walk in, there's like a line of lights that are about 8 inches before the edge of the step, and they're even telling people watch your steps. So I'm sure that they know it's a problem, and I'm not sure how they're going to fix it other than leaving the lights up so you can see the steps. Now, with that said, that theater was great. And then we moved into the comedy club, which is just actually connected to the Mardi Gras Theater, and it's a smaller venue, a lot smaller, but it has about 20 poles
Yeah.
in the entire theater, and your line of sight almost anywhere you sit in there is blocked by a pole unless you're right in the front couple of rows. So that venue could have took a little more thought into it. Again, if they built the Mardi Gras Theater with no poles, I'm not sure how they could not do it in that little smaller venue, even if they only put a few poles. But there's a lot of poles in there breaking your line of sight, as you can see here. It's pretty much blocked up by poles.
But a couple nights when we were going to the comedy show, they did move it into the big theater, so it was really nice.
Right, that was one of the things they did. And we'll talk about that when we talk about the entertainment here in just a second.
Another really smart move by Carnival that we really like that we haven't seen on another ship is the Grand Central Atrium, right in the middle of the ship, and it's kind of where you get on. It's like open up to 3 or 4 decks. It's a great place to watch shows, meet with your friends, sit around and have a drink. And how does those windows or lights work, Pat, in there?
They're LED screens that when they're doing shows at night, they bring them up and they disappear during the day. So basically you're looking out 3 stories of windows during the day, and then at night they bring the LED screens down, and they can use any backdrop they want.
It's really
and
cool.
They also do that in the Mardi Gras Theater. They can make anything they want rather than doing the old canvas type backdrops and all that. Really a great theater, and the best part about it is you can be on deck 6, 7, and 8 and still watch the shows.
And we did see a lot of good shows in there, and it held a lot of people. They were watching from every deck and all around. Okay, the place that I spend a lot of my time is in the pools on a cruise ship, and I like to get a good seat where all the action is some days, and some days I like to get a good book and read. This ship here had 4 pool areas, so I was in heaven. I did manage to sit at all of them, at least for a little while. I like when you can sit out on the back, the pool that we could oversee from our room, and it's an infinity pool, and that was probably my favorite.
Yeah, that was basically, we were on deck 14 on the aft of the ship, and our balcony overlooks Summer Landing, which is a pool that basically looks like an infinity pool. And if you look at one of my videos, you can see that it looks like when the water's moving, because the ship's moving, the water's dumping over the back of the ship. You also have a pool up on deck 16 on the aft, out there by Shaq's Big Chicken. And then you have a pool in Serenity, up on deck 18, and then you have the main pool, which is where all the activities are at, which is on midship deck 16.
So the ship is big, so they needed all the pools, and they were all spread out, and none of them were overfilled.
Yeah, that's one thing I have to agree with Terry on, is the pools weren't like when we're on the Paradise. Oh my gosh, there's like 4,000 people. We won't swim in the pool, trust me. People in there drinking all day long, and they never get out of the pool, so we know what's going into the pool.
But these pools were all nice, and we could always find a seat.
They were. And I read an article saying the pools are actually pretty clean because they're recycled all the time. All right, another great venue on the ship.
Pat's favorite.
My favorite place, when she's laying out by the pool in the sun, as you know, is the casino. This is a large casino. They did a great job of dividing it up between smoking and non-smoking. The casino actually has doors on it that keeps all that smoke. When you get on the ship, you don't smell the smoke. But it is a very nice casino, even though it wasn't very nice to me. The casino contains 2 craps tables, which most ships only have 1, and there is one on the smoking side and one on the non-smoking side, which were always busy. I never got to play craps because the tables were so busy all the time. But it is a great casino, and there are pretty much new machines in there.
There is a lot of activities on here if you like to be active. Pat and I tried to do a lot of the stuff. One of our favorites was the boat, the roller coaster. We loved it. You get 2 laps for, I think, one price. I think it was like $19. They also have where you walk the walking trail up top, the rope course, and it has a zip line on it. It has the water slides. There is a lot to do and keep you busy on this ship.
Yep, it's got a full-size basketball court.
Yep.
And the ropes course, which is pretty cool because you can also zip line on that.
That's what I said.
Course, yeah. And by the way, it's a bolt, not a boat.
A boat.
Just kidding.
Okay, one of the things I did not like, which I did use on the cruise, is, I jog or I run. I don't really run, but I jog. So the jogging course up there that's around the ship is very, very narrow. And this ship is a big ship, so there was a lot of people up there that wanted to walk in groups and talk, which is good. And then there was some runners, slow like me, some fast runners, but it did get congestion up there a lot. And so it wasn't my favorite jogging track that I've seen on Carnival ships.
Right, and it's not like you've been on some of the Carnival ships where it's actually padded and stuff like that. And it's, like I said, it's 3 feet wide at probably the most, so very, very narrow.
But we did have the choice, if we want to go into the gym and walk on their treadmills and stuff like that. So there was another option, though I just really like to run outside.
All right, if you've watched our videos, you know the next thing we're going to talk about is food. We kind of like food, but I'm sure most of you do. All right, so 2 places we didn't eat at that we can't give you any review on is we did not eat at the steakhouse, but our friends did, and they said it was very good. And we did not eat at Ruby's Seafood Grill. And
we didn't eat out those little things by the pool, the little food shacks by the pool, and we'll try them next time too.
Yeah, that was, I don't even remember the name of that, Easy Streets or something like
Easy
that.
Eats.
Whatever,
yeah.
It's French fries, kebabs, and then also the Seafood Shack is out there. Now I can tell you the Seafood Shack is good. We didn't eat it on this cruise, but we have ate it on other Carnival ships. And the price really isn't that bad, especially for the peel and eat shrimp, which are actually very good, and they were very big. All right, we'll start out first of all we'll start in the back and work our way forward. The Pig and Anchor was very good. Great choices. Remember, the outside is open on sea days, and then the inside is open on your other days inside for dinner.
Some ships said this would be a charge, but they did not charge for the Pig and Anchor, even for dinner. One thing I liked about the Pig and Anchor is they had a really nice band back there that played country music, which I really liked. So we did like the Pig and Anchor. They do have a big ice cream machine back there. And then the next one is...
Yeah, the Pig and Anchor is not just the restaurant. It is basically it's a brewery, because they brew their own beer on there. And it is basically a bar, and then it also, attached inside it, is the Heroes lounge area as well, which is a nice tribute to all our veterans.
As I said earlier, one of the first things I got when I got on the ship was Shaq's Big Chicken, and it was great for lunch or breakfast. They have a great breakfast biscuit and eggs. I really like that. That gets a 5.
Now, a lot of people can't find Shaq's Big Chicken. Terry found it, but it's up on deck 16 out there by the outside aft pool, and it's kind of hidden back there if you don't know it's back there. But it looked so good. I wanted one so bad, but I can't give in.
And then they did have a good pizza and deli right across from Emerald's, which we ate at all of those, and they were great, remarkable.
Yes, Terry got the beignets at Emerald's, and it was just like being in New Orleans, because that is the French Quarter on the ship. And the pizza, the one thing I will say about the pizza is it's a bigger venue than most of the ships, and there was always pizza out there waiting. Now, I don't know how it was after some of the shows at night, but every time we walked by there was pizza, there was no lines, and people just got their pizza and ran, and most people were getting a whole pizza, so they were making them really, really fast. Now, we did not eat at the deli. I did not eat at the deli. She ate at the deli. I did not eat at the deli, so tell them how the deli was.
The deli, I just said, was remarkable. I loved it. It was great. Right. The dining rooms, when we ate in there, they were great, and the food was amazing. Pat did eat there for breakfast and lunch, I think. I did not. I only ate there at dinner. You had a lot of choices, which you have Italian, you have Mexican, and Chinese.
Right. Now let's start talking about those venues as well. We went to Chabang, which is Chinese and Mexican, and the best part about that, again, no upcharge. Yeah. And you can mix and match Mexican and Chinese food however you want it. You can even order stuff off the main menu from the main dining room.
Yes.
The service was great in there, and we really enjoyed it. But if you get the poke
chicken,
the Kung Pao chicken,
yeah,
get those peppers out of there.
Ooh,
because
they're hot.
My gosh, they were hot. And I love spicy food, but they lit me on fire.
Then we did love the Italian. We went there twice, and there was no upcharge for that. We ate inside the restaurant one night, and then we ate outside in the lobby area on it another night.
Right. All right, and another venue that is one of the most popular places on the ship is Guy's Burger Joint. But Guy's Burger Joint, again, is not on the Lido deck this time. It's actually one deck up on deck 17, which they set it up nice. There's a lot of seating in there, and they actually put a queue line in where you order your burgers, and which keeps that crowd from stretching across the ship as it does on some of the other ships out there by the pool area.
It's a big place up there, and Guy's Burgers continues to be a big favorite. It's a hit. Also, the Burrito Bar, I did eat at that once. It was great on the ship, but because I had so many new choices on this ship, I only ate at it once. Right. And it was good.
And it's also located on deck 16, is by the pool.
It's by the
pool
pool
back in the corner.
Yes.
Okay. All right, now let's talk a little bit about the bars. There's quite a few bars. You have the bars back at the Pig and Anchor, which is pretty good service back there. Very busy at certain times of the day. And then one of Terry's favorites, midship, is the Fortune Teller Bar. And I'll let her tell you about the drink she ordered.
The Fortune Teller Bar is right across from Emerald's, where it all looks like the Mardi Gras area. And I got the drink with the big bubble on top. It's supposed to be like a crystal ball. And it was included in the drink package, so that wasn't bad. And it was really fun to watch them make it and blow up the big bubble, and then I got to pop it. The drink, not so good, but I did finish drinking it because I didn't want to waste it.
And as you can see here in the video, she popped it with her tongue. And
it was
notice
good.
The people next to him laughing about it.
It was good.
So, All right, so there's quite a few bars. The service at most of them were pretty good, and we enjoyed their drinks because every once in a great while I'll get a painkiller, and it's good.
Okay, the bars were really, really busy on the ship, and as you know, the Carnival is still understaffed. But I will give a good shout out to all the people that were working the bars. They were hustling, and they were making great drinks, and they were trying to take care of everybody as fast as they could. They did do an amazing job. Pat didn't have such a great experience in the casino, though.
No, the casino, I had the free drink package in the casino while playing, and I had the entire cruise 0 drinks in the casino, and I spent quite a bit of time. I sat in there on the second night of the cruise, I believe it was, for 5 hours at the same machine and never once got asked if I wanted a drink. And that's unheard of on Carnival. Usually once you tip them once, they come back and you can't get rid of them for hours. They want to get you drunk. So I went up to the bar and said, hey, can I get a drink because we can't find a bartender? And I was told, nope, you have to get it from one of the bartenders while you're playing. And I explained to him, well, I've been here for 5 hours and I didn't get one. So the bar service in the casino itself was absolutely horrible. They get a 1/4 star.
Oh, boy. I will tell you this, one of my very favorite drinks that I hadn't really tried before to this cruise, and we got it for one of the girls' birthday to do a cheer the first night we were on the ship in the main dining room. I got the chocolate martini. It was out of this world good. Used to it didn't sound good to me, but when I really tried it, I loved it, and I end up getting one every night after dinner. It really was my dessert kind of, but the chocolate martinis, wonderful.
So now she's got a new thing.
Yeah.
All right, so we've already talked about food, drink, and now we're going to talk about entertainment. The entertainment on the ship was actually pretty phenomenal.
Really good.
The shows were good. We saw Rock Revolution. That was pretty good. We didn't see every show. We saw quite a few shows in the Grand Central area that were good. Only negative about those shows was they practiced right there in the Grand Central venue, so if you just stopped there and watched them practice, you kind of saw the show. They just did it in the street clothes. The cruise director, Chris Williams, was absolutely excellent. He's also an entertainer, and he actually put on a concert, and it was very good as well.
We love the comedians and the comic shows. We went there a lot. There was a big variety of what you wanted to see. One of my favorite things to do, I like to watch the morning show. Of course, John Hell was on there, so it was really good.
Right. John Hell pretty much made the cruise, and we went to the Love and Marriage show one night, and then after that they did what they called the Liars Club, which was John Held, Percy Cruz too, which was the comedian, Calvin, who is the entertainment manager, and then Chris Williams was kind of the host of the show, and everybody walked out of there crying and had sore stomachs for a day because we laughed so hard at that.
And we did watch the Deal or No Deal in the main Atrium. That was really cool. We got there a little bit late, so we didn't get to buy tickets. They ran out.
All right, now one thing about the Grand Central entertainment area is when you are on deck 6 and 7 and 8, there's different venues. For example, back by the Brass Magnolia Bar, if that band is playing, and then you have a band out there by Emeralds that's playing, and Grand Central is also doing a show, it is very loud in that little bit of an area. Now again, they knock everything off usually around 10, 11 o'clock at night, but it is a very loud area, and you get all that music playing at the same time. But other than that, it was pretty darn good. Now let's talk about, this was the Sailabration Cruise. This is where we were going to have the ship meet up on our 3rd day, and it was, I'd say, less than spectacular. It was cool being near all those ships at the same time. Naturally, it looked better from the air than it did from the back of the ship where we were at, but I don't believe it was all the hype that it was made out to be, and I believe a lot of people complained about that as well.
Yeah, we had been looking forward and hearing all about how great it was going to be. There was even a rumor there was going to be fireworks. Believe me, no fireworks. To me, it was a little boring. I've seen a lot of ships like in ports and that kind of stuff. As many of that was out there at sea, so I was really kind of bored with it. I don't mean to be like that, but it wasn't my thing. It wasn't as near as what I thought, and I was really disappointed because I did not get any birthday cake.
She didn't get no birthday cake.
I love cake, and I didn't get birthday cake.
And no cookies. So
No.
that brings us
Yeah.
to one of the negatives that we found on the ship. And you probably saw it in a couple of my videos, especially our day 7 video, because I think I mentioned it about 3 times.
Yeah.
Sorry. But deck 16, 9, 10 o'clock at night, it's closed down.
Closed down.
You couldn't find anything. And we have to always close out our videos with ice cream or hot chocolate because
Hot chocolate is good.
it's good.
But you know, one night we couldn't even find a cup to get hot chocolate, so we weren't real happy.
Right.
We wanted our hot chocolate.
So yeah, and like I said earlier, I don't think I finished, was the buffet area again was very large. Some people said
Huge.
they thought it would be bigger. It's big. It's got 4 islands on each side of the ship, and it runs probably over a third of the length of the ship. There was more seating in there than they needed, and we never again had to wait in line at the buffet at all. So we'll give them a thumbs up on that. Now, again, deck 16 closing everything down so early
Too
was
early.
kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
Especially when you went down to deck 8 and there were no combs at the machine that they claim is
Yeah.
24 hours down there.
One thing we didn't get to try on this ship that we will try in June the 4th is room service. We will take time to try the room service and see how that is, because I do want to try that too.
I can't remember the last time we had room service. Many, many years, I
Yeah,
think.
it's been a while, but
We
we are
usually
going to try it.
Like to wander. As you
Okay.
probably saw in our videos, we're out early in the morning and we never see our cabin until late at night, except to shower. So, anyway, I think that's just about it. Again, it was a great, and I think I'm going to give it 4 3/4 stars.
4 out of
5.
Oh, 5? No, I give it a 5. It gets a 5 in my book. I can't wait to go back.
Nope. The only reason they're getting 4 3/4 was because of the bar service in the casino, which was, again, horrible.
Well, I didn't go into casino, so don't matter to me.
It's not very nice. But anyway, again, do us a big favor and hit that subscribe button down there if you like what we're doing. And hit that notification bell so you know when we put up a new video. And thank you to all our new subscribers that have
Thank
come
you.
on board in the last month or so. Got to get to that 1,000 before June 4th so we can go live on the ship.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Anyway, I'm Patrick,
And I'm Terry.
and we are
Party of Two Cruising.
And again, thank you for watching, and have a great evening.